Happy Saturday, happy weekend to all that's listening to my voice. We got some interesting matches today. MLS Match Day 21, if you watch MLS. Columbus, Nashville. That should be a good one. But let's not overlook Charlotte, Montreal. That should be a good one too. DC United, Cincy. I don't really know, because I don't know which DC team is going to show up. I know Cincy's going to show up. Cincy shows up every match. So that's one thing I like about Cincinnati and Nashville is that you don't have to question if they're going to show up, because they show up every match. Ever since I started watching MLS in 2021, Nashville has always been that one team that showed up every week consistently. Now, of course, they didn't win. Of course, they don't win every game. But when it comes to just showing up and putting out effort, Nashville has been that one team that's been most consistent. And Cincy has been just as consistent starting this season. So it's a good thing that both of those teams are at the top of the East. They deserve it. When you put in effort every week, will you win? No. You won't win every week. But effort will help you stay on top. And effort will prevent you from being in a one-game play-in situation, having that 8 and 9 seed. Other matches, Chicago, Kansas City should be good, but then again, it's a big question mark for both of these teams, because I don't know which teams are going to show up. Austin, Houston, that's definitely going to be a good one. That is definitely going to be a good one. Prime time. That's how it should be. It's scheduled to start early, but this is a match that should be an MLS After Dark. Whenever the Texas boys play against each other, that should be a MLS After Dark special. But the main topic of discussion in this monologue is the news this week that San Francisco Mayor, London Breed, she has openly stated that she wants a soccer stadium. She didn't specifically say what type of soccer stadium. I'm assuming that she's not well educated about the profession at the moment, but she will eventually become more educated about the culture and the sport eventually. So, if you're from San Francisco, you know about Westfield Mall. I'm not from San Francisco, so I don't know much about it. I just know, based on the article that I read, that Westfield Mall is located downtown. And I guess the mall is out of business. It's basically defunct, and it's like a empty building or empty plaza that's just sitting in the middle of downtown. And in order to bring more life to that specific area where Westfield Mall is, the mayor has an idea of replacing it with a pro soccer stadium. Now, the articles didn't say how many seats. Based on the picture that I'm looking at on hoodline.com, it looked like it can be a 10,000 seat stadium. It looked like it can be conducive for a USL NWSL stadium. Based on this picture, it definitely doesn't look big enough for an MLS stadium. It definitely don't look big enough for that. But based on the picture, it looks more conducive for NWSL, USL, US Open Cup competition. So that means it'll be conducive for amateurs and NPSL. But before I get down to breaking down like how each league could benefit from this, I want to specifically read both articles that I read because this is something that I think is very interesting. I think this is something that is needed. I mean, you think about every other major city in California, they have like a major professional team. And when it comes to San Francisco doesn't have a major professional soccer team. And it's odd. San Jose has a major professional soccer team. Oakland has a major professional soccer team. The same for Sacramento, Los Angeles, Irvine, California, San Diego. They all have major professional soccer teams. And then when you think about San Francisco, it's just amateurs. So San Francisco has been the odd man out all these years when it comes to major professional soccer teams. So first article I'm going to read is from hoodline.com, titled San Francisco Mayor Breed's newest idea is to replace Westfield Mall with a soccer stadium. The landscape of San Francisco's once thriving downtown has been struggling for some time now, with declining sales, foot traffic, and series of closures that have hit the city hard. In what many think an odd suggestion, Mayor London Breed has proposed a new idea to reinvigorate the area, replacing Westfield Mall with a soccer stadium, a concept that comes in the wake of Westfield's announcement that it'll be abandoning its iconic San Francisco Mall due to these challenges. According to a recent article from SF Gate, Mayor Breed has suggested that Westfield Mall, a once prominent landmark in the city's downtown, could potentially be transformed into a whole new soccer stadium. This proposal was made during a staged interview at Bloomberg's Tech Summit in San Francisco, where the mayor discussed the declining state of commercial real estate in the city and the pressing need for creative solutions to revitalize the area. As San Francisco Gate reported, Breed began to rattle off things that could be saying you can convert certain spaces. A Westfield Mall could become, something completely different than what it currently is. It could be a place where we could even tear down the whole building and build a whole new soccer stadium. As Bloomberg reported, Mayor Breed called on investors to redevelop the struggling downtown core by converting or even demolishing empty buildings to make way for new growth. Okay, stop right there. Now, based on the current picture that I'm seeing, it's only conducive. It looks only conducive for USL and NWSL. However, if additional buildings are demolished, as Mayor Breed suggested, that could open the door for Major League Soccer. Like, look at this picture right here. If these surrounding buildings are empty, if these are like the empty buildings that Mayor Breed is talking about, if some more of these buildings are empty and they become demolished, that could open the door for Major League Soccer. Now let me finish reading. I think we have to start reimagining what downtown can be, emphasizing the importance of looking for new possibilities rather than dwelling on the decline of traditional retail establishment. Critics and experts alike have noted that such a move could potentially provide a much-needed boost to San Francisco's beleaguered downtown, injecting fresh energy and rekindling the city's reputation as an innovative trailblazer. While San Francisco's downtown has been grappling with the effects of decline in tourism, remote work displacing office tenants, and safety issues, it is interesting to note that Westfield's Valley Fair Mall, located in Silicon Valley, just 50 miles away, has seen a much more positive trajectory with record high sales and steady growth, as we also reported here on Hoodline. Successful tenants like Nordstrom have chosen to remain in Valley Fair while leaving San Francisco property, indicating that it is not merely the retail sector's decline that has brought the latter to its knees. Instead, it points towards the way San Francisco Mall has failed to adapt and meet the challenges of today's retail landscape. This contrast between the two Westfield malls underscores the importance of innovative thinking and making bold moves when faced with a challenging environment, as exemplified by the successful adaptations of Valley Fair. by transforming the San Francisco downtown area and potentially replacing the Westfield Mall with a soccer stadium. New opportunities could be created for the city, its businesses, and its residents, allowing it to emerge from these difficult times with renewed vigor and optimism. However, it is critical that San Francisco leaders focus their efforts on not just bold redevelopments, whether stadiums or otherwise, but also address pressing concerns like homelessness and public safety. To this end, Mayor London Breed has proposed various measures in the past to tackle these issues, such as speeding up the construction of new housing units, enacting legislation allowing easier access to mental illness treatment, and tirelessly working to improve the quality of life for the city's residents, as mentioned in a New York Times article. Okay, now I'm going to read the San Francisco Gate.com article, which goes into more specific details on what Mayor London Breed said herself. San Francisco Mayor London Breed proposed an out there solution to Westfield's abandonment of its San Francisco Center Mall. Tear it down and build a soccer stadium in Soma. I'm assuming Soma is a neighborhood. If you're from San Francisco, let me know in the comment section. What is Soma? I don't know what Soma is. The idea came in a 25-minute Thursday interview on stage at Bloomberg's Tech Summit in San Francisco, in which the outlet's California Bureau Chief Karen Bruslaw pushed Breed on city issues and her role as mayor. In the latter half of the interview, Bruslaw turned the conversation away from crime and toward commercial real estate, referencing the steady flow of companies like Westfield leaving San Francisco's downtown. She said if companies continue to vacate the area and fewer people go downtown, pressure could build on the remaining businesses. Is this how you see a doom loop? Bruslaw asks, and is San Francisco in one? Okay, Breed started. I'm glad you asked that question. After some crowd worked to emphasize how few people actually shop in brick and mortar stores, she started talking about her push to ease the conversion of office space into housing and the need to be creative with downtown space. Then she started spitballing. You can convert certain spaces. A Westfield Mall could become, something completely different than what it currently is. It could be a place where we could even tear down the whole building and build a whole new soccer stadium. We can create lab space or look at it as a new company in some other capacity. She added, noting that Airbnb's San Francisco headquarters is built in what once housed a jewelry mart. Soccer pitches are generally about 110 meters long and 75 meters wide, though sizes vary and indoor mini fields can be much smaller. PayPal Park, where the San Jose Earthquakes play their home games, is built on a vast tract of land near the city's airport. The Giants Oracle Park is built across 12 acres. Breed isn't the first to suggest a sports-based solution to the emptying mall. Pickleballers have talked about replacing Westfield stores with a recreational complex, but ripping down the entire 1.5 million square foot retail and office center is certainly a novel idea. The property received a $1.2 billion appraisal in 2016, but the mass departure of retailers kept by Nordstrom's announced pullout last month left the mall only 55% occupied. Westfield confirmed on June 12th it would abandon the mall due to challenging operating conditions. The mayor already plans to use the world's most popular sport to lure people into San Francisco's downtown. The crossing at East Cut and Embarcadero Plaza. The crossing at East Cut and Embarcadero Plaza will host free public screenings of Women's World Cup games this summer. So that was sfgate.com. And basically I just read both articles to you. So what I get out of the most is San Francisco has an exodus issue. It's something that the city of Chicago is also going through. Now, I don't know which city is worse when it comes to the exodus. I think it could be safe to assume that San Francisco's exodus is worse than Chicago, because California is more expensive to live than the state of Illinois. So I believe it could be safe to assume that the San Francisco exodus is much worse than the Chicago exodus. So Mayor Breed is looking for ideas, or she has ideas to bring back people to just being around downtown, because businesses are hurting. Business not making money, they leave. And one thing about sports, number one, American sports is the entertainment industry. Number one, the entertainment industries. So when people come downtown to watch a game, they're going to buy food. They're going to go shopping in the area, buy food in the area, go shopping in the area. It will really help the cities downtown. Now, when it comes to soccer in general, recent history suggests that soccer fans in general, American soccer fans in general, will support the top tier league. Now, this is not to say they won't support lower tier league like USL. They will support USL if that is their only option. But if it's MLS and USL in the city, they'll most likely support MLS. Now, I don't know which league in particular is the front runner. I haven't heard anything about USL expanding to San Francisco because they already have a team in Oakland. And they have a team in Monterey Bay also. I haven't heard anything about MLS because MLS just announced that they're expanding to San Diego. And most recently, the only three cities that they're talking about since 2022, the only three cities they're talking about expanding to was San Diego, Las Vegas, and Sacramento. I never heard anything about San Francisco. So then it comes to NWSL. Now let's start with NWSL, because out of all three leagues, out of all three major professional soccer leagues, NWSL could actually be the first team to play at a pro soccer stadium in downtown San Francisco. Similar to how they're the first pro soccer team to play their game at Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego, NWSL can add another first to the list. Now you may be thinking, okay, but if MLS eventually comes to the downtown San Francisco, doesn't that devalue NWSL? No, it doesn't. Because number one, if NWSL becomes the first pro soccer league to play at the downtown San Francisco stadium, they'll be in the history books. They will make history again. And when you're the first to do something, history is never erased. Unless you're like the NCAA. The NCAA, their form of punishing people is by taking away games, which makes absolutely no sense to me. How can you just say, okay, for you doing this, we're going to take away those wins you had. We're just going to act like it never existed. You can't erase history. People are always going to remember it. That doesn't make any sense. It's similar to even taking away the Heisman, taking away Reggie Bush's Heisman. What sense does that make? We all remember Reggie Bush. Regardless of you taking the Heisman away, history is not erased. When I was a little kid, growing up in Georgia, when Reggie Bush was playing college football, we weren't talking about, when I went to school, we weren't talking about the Georgia Bulldogs or LSU or Alabama, we weren't talking about SEC football. We used to talk about Reggie Bush. And this is when YouTube wasn't really a thing. It wasn't big. So in order for you to remember Reggie Bush playing, you actually had to watch the game. So on Mondays when we got back to school, people used to be like, did you see Reggie Bush on Saturday? The reason why I bring that up is because NWSL, just even if MLS eventually comes to that downtown San Francisco stadium, your history will not be erased. You will always be remembered as the first pro soccer team to play in downtown San Francisco. So yes, I'm talking to you, Bay FC, the up and coming San Francisco NWSL club who's currently planning to play his games in San Jose. But if I'm you, Bay FC, I have to pause. Number one, Mary London Breed is a woman. By her being a woman, you should be able to form a good relationship because, women in leadership, y'all should be able to relate to each other and form some kind of bond. I'm sure she'll be willing to work with you because she's a woman. So that's the first benefit. Like, if anything, NWSL, the female San Francisco mayor will most likely talk to you first in WSL before she talks to USL and MLS. So that's something that you should keep in mind, Bay FC. See, Bay FC, you're in a good situation because now you have options. At first, the thought was just San Jose, because San Jose already has a pro soccer stadium. But now, Bay FC, you have the option of playing your games in the capital of the San Francisco Bay, which is downtown San Francisco. So that's something that you should keep in mind in WSL. Making history again. You're the first pro soccer league to play at Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego. And now you can be the first pro soccer league to play in downtown San Francisco's new stadium, if it ever comes to life. Now, when it comes to the other two leagues, USL. So, Oakland, you're planning to get a stadium somewhere in Oakland. I don't know how many seats you're thinking, but I'll tell you one thing, Oakland. You really got to start thinking bigger. Sacramento, they plan on getting a 20,000 seat stadium. Indianapolis is getting a 20,000 seat stadium. Anything less than 20,000 in Oakland is unacceptable. You got to start raising the bar. Now, this stadium in downtown San Francisco, if it actually comes to life, and if a USL team starts there, you automatically have a crosstown rival, which is good. But if MLS comes to town, then you really got to start rethinking about your future in USL. Because if MLS chooses to work with Mary London Breed, the game changes. The game automatically changes, Oakland, because you would definitely lose fans. Oakland Roots, you would definitely lose fans if MLS expands to San Francisco. And speaking of MLS expansion, do not think that it's crazy for MLS to have 8 California clubs by the year 2040. I repeat, do not think that is crazy for Major League Soccer to have 8 California teams by the year 2040. Let's think about it. Let's start in the South. Southern Cali. You already have 3. You got 2 LA boys and you got 1 San Diego boy. You can get 1 more. Look at Irvine, California, by example. Irvine, California has 3 or 4. By next year, they'll have 3 or 4 lower level pro soccer clubs playing at Championship Soccer Stadium. What if the city of Irvine say, oh, wait a minute. If we have all of these leagues, USL, NISA, NPSL, UPSL, all these minor soccer leagues, if we're successful of hosting all of these minor soccer leagues, we could do good hosting a major league soccer club. If we have been successful all these years of hosting the lower leagues, the lower level leagues, we could be successful as hosting the major leagues. Because this is one thing I do know about Irvine. This is one thing, the little I've learned about the city of Irvine, during their whole dispute with Orange County SC. The city of Irvine, they want to do more than just soccer. And one of the reasons why they're at a big disagreement between Orange County and themselves is because they want to install turf at that Championship Soccer Stadium. Turf will allow them to host more non-soccer events, which will enable the city to make more money. So the city of Irvine, they want to be known more than just a mere soccer city. The city of Irvine is saying they're open for business. They want to do big things. The city of Irvine have big ambitions. And MLS coming to town, combined with Apple TV, combined with Adidas, Irvine will be able to level up. The city of Irvine will be able to level up with that total package. So do not think it's crazy for the city of Irvine, California to become the 4th Southern Cali MLS club. Another region in Southern Cali, Inland Empire. And if you're from Southern Cali, correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that Bakersfield? Bakersfield, California is in Inland Empire? That area? Is it Bakersfield? Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, please, because I'm curious to know. Inland Empire, is that Bakersfield? That's another growing region in Southern California, Inland Empire. So when it comes to Southern Cali expansion and MLS Southern Cali expansion, be on the lookout for Irvine, Inland Empire, Long Beach. Don't think it's crazy. Just don't think it's crazy. Those three locations. Inland Empire, Irvine, Long Beach. Now when it comes to Northern California, all there is right now is just San Jose. But you can add Sacramento, which is still, MLS is still considering Sacramento. San Francisco. San Francisco might be a player. Now, based on the picture that I saw on Bloodline.com, that doesn't look big enough. That doesn't look conducive for an MLS stadium. So, if more buildings are torn down, though, like Mayor London Bree said, that if those buildings in the picture on Bloodline.com, if those are empty buildings, if those buildings get torn down, then we got another story to say. Then MLS is a strong possibility in that area. And one thing I know about MLS. MLS would definitely be able to help Mayor London Breed bring more life to San Francisco. Because it's not only the MLS that is coming. MLS is a package of its own now. You have Apple, and you have Adidas, and you have other sponsors. You also have Right to Dream. You know, crime is a growing thing in San Francisco. You have a lot of kids, their minds are idle, they're frustrated, they need something to do. This is when Right to Dream will come in and teach these kids like there's more to life than just robbing and stealing. Because Right to Dream is not only a soccer academy. Right to Dream prepares people for life. Right to Dreams prepares people to be productive citizens in the global society. So you have Apple, you have Adidas, and you have Right to Dream to help bring life to San Francisco. All right. So that was 3 I just named. You already have San Jose, Sacramento, San Francisco, and the 4th one, Oakland. Oakland, look, the Golden State Warriors already left. The Oakland Raiders already left. The Oakland A's are getting ready to leave. What do you have to lose? You might as well go big or go home. Why not shoot for MLS? You are the face of the town now. You are Oakland. You are Oakland. Oakland roots. When it comes to professional sports, it's all about you now. Why not go big? Go big or go home. Why not? If English Premier League in London, if they can have, I think London has like somewhere between 9 to 11 professional clubs. If London can have 10 professional clubs, why you think California, a state that's 10 times bigger than London, why you think they can't have at least 8 MLS teams? It is possible. You know, I told y'all during the San Diego expansion, MLS is not done expanding. Look, I don't know how many MLS teams there will be by the year 2050. I have no idea. But I'm telling you right now, they are not stopping at 30. They are not stopping at 32. They are not stopping at 34. MLS can have 8 teams in California by the year 2040. And they can have 5 teams in Florida by the year 2050 also. Hey, we haven't forgotten about Tampa, St. Petersburg. I think what's stalling the Tampa St. Petersburg talks is right now they're dealing with the Rays. The Rays are Major League Baseball. The Tampa Bay Rays, they're trying to prevent the Rays from relocating to Orlando. So they're working on getting a stadium in St. Petersburg. But if they become successful in keeping the Rays in St. Petersburg or Tampa, then they'll be open for discussions with MLS. And when it comes to Jacksonville, that Jacksonville USL group led by Tim Tebow, they have been very, very quiet recently. We haven't heard much from them. But one thing I do know about Tim Tebow, there's no doubt in my mind that he will love to be an NFL owner someday. And a relationship with MLS will improve his chances of that dream becoming a reality more than a relationship with USL. You have a Jacksonville owner in Shad Khan. He constantly travels to London every year. I'm sure that's a guy that MLS will love to have on its team because of his connection to London. So don't think that Florida is going to stop with two clubs right now. Did I say 5 Florida clubs? I meant 4. So they already got 2 right now in Miami and Orlando. So 2 more. Tampa and Jacksonville, that'll make it 4. So I meant 4. 8 Cali teams by 2040. 4 Florida teams by 2050. The only way Florida can have a 5th one will be either Tallahassee or Pensacola, but I'm not sure if those are major MLS cities. So, as I wrap up this monologue, pay close attention to San Francisco. San Francisco, they need help. It's a big exodus going on over there. And they want soccer to help them. They want professional soccer to help them. And the 2 leagues that would definitely help them the most would be NWSL and MLS.